Yo YouTube, what's going on? I'm coming at you today with what I believe to be 5 useful beginner tips I found while playing Need for Speed Unbound. So to start things off with, tip number 1 is going to be always try to get a perfect launch off the line. So when you start a race, right, and if you look to the bottom right at your speedometer, you'll have this short white bar directly above it. And you're going to want to keep your RPMs revved inside that little white bar, and it should light up green, and your car will grip the road instead of spinning the wheels on takeoff, which is a huge advantage because no one wants to sit there spinning wheels for 4, 5, 6 seconds not going nowhere. But if you get a perfect launch, your wheels are going to grip and you're going to take off and stay with the pack. And you can do that, do a perfect launch, stay behind somebody, fill up your yellow NOS meter, and then bust out in front of everybody. So yeah, I would recommend every race you start, try to get the perfect launch. Alright, so tip number 2 is going to be about your preferred handling tuning. So if you hit the pause button and come right down here to handling tuning, you'll be able to move this slider left or right for grip or drift, depending on what you want. Now, when I first started the game, my car just wanted to drift into everything, and it was slowing me down way too much. And if you go and you buy handling parts for your car, your slider, you'll be able to slide it more left or more right, depending on how many parts you put on your car. So I highly recommend, if you're having any problem with handling, come here and mess with it and see what you like, what your preference is, and tune that to your liking and try it out. Hopefully it helps you out. So tip number 3 is going to be about your nitrous. And if you notice, you actually have 2 different nitrous meters. One is blue, which is just your regular nitrous. You can hold down your nitrous button and it works just like regular nitrous. It's not too powerful, it's just like a little boost. And then you have 3 sectional chunks that as you drift, as you draft, as you drive into oncoming traffic, those build up as you're gaining points. As soon as you stop gaining points on your draft or your drift, your yellow nitrous meter will then start to deplete. So it's almost like you have to get it and use it or lose it. But when you do get it, especially if you can do enough, keep enough points coming in to get 2 bars filled or even the 3rd bar filled, the 3rd bar filled is a tremendous boost. And they've had these mechanics in older Need for Speed games, but in this game I feel like they are way more important than ever. You have got to be driving in oncoming traffic, doing near misses, drafting, drifting. You have got to be doing stuff to keep refilling this NOS, because the computer is on your ass and they don't let up. So you need to be generating and using all the NOS you can. And my 4th tip for you guys may sound kind of simple, but I actually didn't realize it until a little bit later on in my playthrough, and it saved me actually a lot of hassle. And that would be to do the races. Obviously, throughout your day, you're going to do all the races you can do. But I would say prioritize the ones first that give you the less heat afterwards. Therefore, if you start a day and you go and do the big race of the day that gives you 3 heat, that means you have to drive around to all the other starting locations for the other 2 or 3 or 4 races you have to do with a minimum of 3 heat. And then when you go do that race, you're going to get heat. And then when you go do that race, you're going to do that heat. So you're going to be running around almost all day with over 3 heat. But if you did all the races that gave you 1 heat or 2 heat, you would stay at a lower heat longer. By saving that last race that gives you the most heat to do last, or the ones that give you the most for last, it greatly cuts down the time you're driving around having to avoid the cops and have a high heat and risk losing everything. And for the final tip, I would highly advise, when picking your first car between the Silvia, the Charger, or the Diablo, don't stress on it too hard. I'm not trying to give away any spoilers, but you're not going to drive it that long. And also, this is where I messed up and I struggled for money, I think because of this. But I actually bought the Silvia, and I bought all the bumpers, and I bought some wheels, and I bought a whole bunch of cosmetics, only to really not drive it for that long. And I kind of just wasted all that money. So if I was you, I would save your money on making your first car look pretty until you get another car throughout the story. Alright, well that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope I helped you out. If I did, leave me a like. If you have any questions, drop them down there in the comments. Until next time, take it easy. See ya.